Some history of Seoul. Contrary to the expectation of many a visitor, Seoul possessed a long and interesting past. After first rising to prominence at the beginning of the These Kingdoms period, it was then ruled over by almost every major power in Korean history. In 18 AD, then named Wireseong, it became the first capital of the Baekje Kingdom. The exact location is believed to be a site just east of present-day Seoul, but this was to change several times. The kings and the clans were forced far south to Gongju in 475, having been squeezed out by the rival Goguryeo Kingdom. Less than a century later, the city completed a Three Kingdoms clean sweep when King Jinhung expanded the domain of his Silla Kingdom far to the north, absorbing Seoul, then known as Hanseong, on the way. By 668, Silla forces held control of the whole peninsula, but having chosen Gyeongju as their capital. Seoul faded into the background. In the 10th century, Silla was usurped by the nascent Goryeo Kingdom. They chose Kaesong in modern-day North Korea as the seat of their power, though Seoul was close enough to become an important trading hub, and soon earned yet another name, Namyeong, meaning southern capital. It was not until the end of the Goryeo dynasty that Seoul really came into its own. In 1392, the Hermit Kingdom of Joseon kicked off over 5 centuries of power after running the rule over a few prospective candidates. King Taejo, the inaugurator of the dynasty, chose Seoul as his new capital, impressed by its auspicious location. He immediately set about recognizing the city with a series of major projects. Exactly 200 years after its birth, Joseon was invaded in Japanese forces from 1592 to 1598 under the control of warlord Hideyoshi. Seoul in ruins. Hideyoshi, Seoul in ruins. Though the country survived this particular struggle mainly thanks to in the late 19th century, after making time inroad with a series of trade, Gyeongbokgung culminated in outright annexation of the peninsula in 1910, which lasted until the end of World War II and closed the long chapters of Korean regal law. During this time, Japan tried its best to erase any sense of Korean nationality. Part of this was derived to wipe out of Korean language and earned Seoul yet another name, Keijo, which roughly translated as War of Capital. The city was to suffer greater indignity when its beloved palaces were modified in an attempt to make them more Japanese. A few of these alterations are still visible today. After the war, Peninsula infighting and global shifts in power and ideology resulted in the Korean War 1950 to 1953. Seoul's position in the center of the peninsula, as well as its obvious importance as a long-time Korean capital, meant that it changed hands 4 times, coming under North Korean control twice before being wrested back. Seoul finally ended up under South Korean control, though most of the city lay in ruins. But despite, or perhaps because of all these setbacks, there has been no stopping it since then.